My name is Ann Bailey, and I am a faculty member in the History and Africana Studies Department here, and I teach African American history and African diaspora studies.
Right.
And tomorrow I'm going to the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington. And I'm going with my son because I'm here, as you said, because of a good education. And that good education became possible because of that faith-inspired movement that really reached such an important milestone 50 years ago.
Right.
And I'm so grateful for the fact that I had that opportunity and that my son and that these young people will have these opportunities. But I still kind of wonder where we are now in terms of education and civil rights. Where do you think we are? What do we need to do to kind of make sure that it is education for all, including underrepresented groups? That's just my question.
Well, you know, 50 years after the March on Washington and the I Have a Dream speech, obviously we've made enormous strides. I'm a testament to it. You're a testament to it. The diversity of this room and the students who are here is a testimony to it. And that impulse towards making sure everybody gets a fair shot is one that found expression in the civil rights movement, but then spread to include Latinos and immigrants and gays and lesbians. And what's wonderful to watch is that the younger generation seems, each generation seems wiser in terms of wanting to treat people fairly and do the right thing and not discriminate. And that's a great victory that we should all be very proud of. On the other hand, I think what we've also seen is that the legacy of discrimination, slavery, Jim Crow, has meant that some of the institutional barriers for success for a lot of groups still exist. African American poverty in this country is still significantly higher than other groups. Same is true for Latinos, same is true for Native Americans. And even if there weren't active discrimination taking place right now, and obviously we know that some discrimination still exists, although nothing like what existed 50 years ago. But let's assume that we eliminated all discrimination magically with a wand and everybody had goodness in their heart. You'd still have a situation in which there are a lot of folks who are poor and whose families have become dysfunctional because of a long legacy of poverty and live in neighborhoods that are run down and schools that are underfunded and don't have a strong property tax base. And it would still be harder for young people born into those communities to succeed than those who were born elsewhere. So if, in fact, that's the case, and that is what I believe, then it's in all of our interests to make sure that we are putting in place smart policies to give those communities a lift and to create ladders so that young people in those communities can succeed. Well, what works? We've already talked about what works. Early childhood education works. We know that can make a difference. It's not going to solve every problem, but it can help level the playing field for kids early in life so that they're still going to have to work hard. Not everybody is going to succeed, but they'll have a better chance if we put those things in place. Making college affordable, that makes a difference because we know, in part because of the legacy of discrimination, that communities of color have less wealth. If they have less wealth, it means that mom and dad have a more difficult time financing college. Well, we should make sure that every young person, regardless of their color, can access a college education. I think the biggest challenge we have is not that we don't know what policies work, it's getting our politics right. Because part of what's happened over the last several decades is, because times have been tough, because wages and incomes for everybody have not been going up, everybody's pretty anxious about what's happening in their lives and what might happen for their kids. And so that they get worried that, well, if we're helping people in poverty, that must be hurting me somehow. It's taking something away from me. And part of what I think we have to understand is that America has always been most successful. We've always grown fastest, and everybody's incomes have gone up fastest when our economic growth is broad-based. Not just when a few people are doing well at the top, but when everybody's doing well. And so if working people and folks who are struggling, whether they're white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, disabled, LGBT, if working folks join together around common principles and policies that will help lift everybody, then everybody will be better off, including, by the way, the folks at the top. Because when the economy is growing and people have jobs and people are seeing better incomes, they go out and they shop more, and that means businesses are doing better, and you buy a new iPod, and Apple's happy, and shareholders are pleased, but unfortunately we've got a politics sometimes that divides instead of bringing people together. And we've seen that over the last couple of years. The tendency to suggest somehow that government is taking something from you and giving it to somebody else, and your problems will be solved if we just ignore them or don't help them. And that, I think, is something that we have to constantly struggle against, whether we're black or white or whatever color we are. All right? Thank you.